Yo, what is going on, guys? I am Brandon, aka Broken Ocean, and today I am going to be showing you how to make this sound right here.
Fire! Switch it. Come on.
So yeah, that is it right there. That is a spicy one. It is done in Serum. And before we get into the tutorial, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting content very frequently. And I also will be taking requests for videos. So if you have any questions regarding production, sound design, anything, let me know in the comments below and I will make a video response. Whew. Secondly, for this new series that I'm kind of starting, like the Serum tutorials, and not even just Serum, but from here on out, what I'm going to be doing is essentially grading my videos with like a difficulty. It's gonna be like a difficulty rating, just because I know there's a lot of you guys out there that are on different levels. Some of you are just starting off, some of you are kind of in the middle, and some of you are, seasoned vets. And what I'm going to be doing, just so it's kind of easier to organize these tutorials, all of my beginner tutorials, which basically you don't need any prerequisite. I'm going to take my time, really talk in detail, and kind of teach you. It's going to be more basic stuff. Those are going to have a blue circle next to it. The advanced tutorials, which, basically you're going to need some prior knowledge, it's in order to understand these videos, and I'm going to be moving a little bit more quickly, and I'm not going to stop to explain every little detail. Those are going to have a white circle next to the beginning, like in the beginning of the title. So this one and the first video that I just posted, which I will leave a link in the description, those are both advanced tutorials. Like I said, they have a white circle, and then the more the expert videos are going to have a yellow diamond in front of the title, and those are, again, it's just going to be, you're going to have to, in order to understand the videos, fully, you're definitely going to need to have a lot of knowledge regarding production or sound design. And, those are going to be the videos more so like kind of mixing and mastering, like really, just, just more like, more intense topics. That's a really stupid way to word it. But you get the idea. So yeah, just wanted to get that out there just to kind of make that, just, so you guys, so it makes sense. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into this tutorial here. So yeah, this is like I don't even know what you would classify it as. It's kind of like a neuro style, like drum and bass. I mean, this is like a drum and bass track, but yeah, it's kind of like a neuro bass in a way, but it's so unique and it's so filthy. I mean, you could use it for anything. So I do have some post-processing. I'm going to turn this off real quick and show you what it does sound like without the post-processing. So you can see when I don't move that macro knob, it doesn't sound like much. So that macro really brings it to life. I almost threw up. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. So go ahead and open up Serum, and just to save time, I am going to go ahead and just turn everything off and then turn it on as we go. It's not a super, this isn't really a super complicated patch, but there is a decent amount of stuff going on. So go ahead and open that patch up. And what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, let me actually make sure, so I got that, so that's off. All right, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and turn on oscillator A. We're going to go to digital, and we're going to choose the evil long grease. Lawn grease. Oh. Is it grease on the lawn? Like lawn grease? Or is it a long grease? Hey, something to think about. Anyways, turn it down an octave. And then we're going to boost the unison up to 5. So we got 5 voices playing at the same time. Detune up to 0.15. And the blend up to 75. Phase and the random knob can stay just how they are. Wavetable position, stay at 1. And then we're going to choose some frequency modulation from B for the warp mode. And we're going to bring it up 32% and then level all the way up. Now we're going to take our macro knob, drag it onto the frequency modulation knob, and bring it up about 19. So far, it's not going to do anything because we got to turn on our other oscillator, which is going to be oscillator B, which is our sawtooth default wave here. We're going to pitch that up 1 octave. And the only thing we're going to do here is turn the level all the way down. So, if you've done that correctly, it should sound like this. Not really anything crazy yet, but it's going to come together soon. So we're going to turn the sub oscillator on, tune it down an octave, and we are going to modulate that with LFO1. So bring LFO1 onto the level, up 100%. LFO is going to be just the triangle wave right here. You can leave the mode on off. We don't want it to trigger. And we're going to set the rate to 1/2 note. Gotta crack my back. Oh. Ooh. Alright, so now that we got that done, we are going to turn on our filter, which is going to be a miscellaneous reverb filter. And the best way to explain this, honestly, it just it looks like just like 1,000 notches and peaks, and there's probably a better explanation on what that's doing, but we're not going to get into that right now. Let's just say it works perfectly, and it really shapes the sound. So make sure you got oscillator A routing through there only. And then we're going to turn the cutoff up to about 43 hertz. And then we are going to take LFO1 onto the cutoff and bring it down only -1. That's it. Just to create super slight movement. Resonance is going to be up 28%. The drive is going to be at 28 also. And the damp is going to be at 0. So, if you've done that correctly, that's what you should get. And just so you guys aren't confused, you probably can't see it, but I got my macro mapped to my MIDI controller here, so the way I'm making it sound like that is by turning this. Obviously, you could just do this as well. So yeah, you can tell that the fundamental sound is there almost, but we just got to add some effects and then we'll be done. So let's go to our effects tab, and we're going to add some distortion, just tube distortion. Drive up at 75%, mix at 100. We're going to add some EQing. We're only going to use one of these bands here, which we are going to make a notch filter, or a notch curve. And the frequency is going to be set to 54, the bandwidth to 60, and the gain is going to be at -24. And then we're going to take LFO1 and drag it onto the frequency and bring it up 37. So essentially that's just going to sweep the lower it's going to sweep the lower frequency spectrum, and it's going to create a lot of movement, as you can see. Yeah. You know, if you wanted to, you could add another band here. You know, it's totally up to you. Obviously, if, you know, what I would recommend doing is try to see if you can come up with your own like variation of this, or see how far you can push it. Just in this track alone, I think I used this patch and made like 4 different variations of it. So be creative, see what you can come up with. Make it make it fit your style and your sound, whatever. Fuck it. So, and next we're gonna add the a filter. And also, just make sure you got all these in the right order here. We want the compressor at the end. What I usually do is just like drag all these up to the top here, and kind of organize them as I go. But we're going to be adding a high notch filter, high notch 12. Cutoff is going to be at 74 hertz, resonance at 53, drive at 0, and the frequency for the notch is going to be at 62%. And now this is where the sound is going to get all of its timbre from. So we're going to take the macro knob and drag it onto the cutoff, bring it up 31, and then also bring that same macro knob onto the frequency and drag it down 27. So this is what's going to control everything. So yeah, that's that. And then last but not least, we're going to add some multiband compression. So turn that bit on multiband mode. Drag the high band up to 119, the mids up to 134, and the lows to 151. And then we're going to drag the gain up 10 dB. Before you go any further, take the mix, bring it all the way down to 0, and drag our main envelope, which is envelope 1, onto the mix. The reason for this is because originally I didn't have this on there, and when the sound stopped, there was like just very, very slight, I wouldn't even call it white noise because I could barely even hear it. But there was just some subtle noise that was just lingering, and it was due to the compression. So essentially this will, by throwing the envelope on there, when the note's triggered, you know, the compressor will engage, and then when you let up, it'll disengage instantly, and it won't affect any sound or anything. So, and with that being said, this is what you should have. All right, that's enough. So anyways, sorry, I do apologize about the clearing my throat. I got like a real bad, got some chest congestion. I got like a head cold, some sinus shit going on, so I'm like all stuffed up. I can't breathe. But yeah, that's the basic. That's the patch. So in order to create some variations, like I was just talking about, essentially what I did for the second one here, I just turned the octave of oscillator B up to 2, so it'll sound like this. Actually, here, we'll just give you a little demo here.
Switch it.
Original. Here's the second variation. And the third variation. So the actual like bass, you know, of the sound is still the same. Like I said, the only difference is that I changed the octave of oscillator B. The second one was up 2 octaves, and then the third one was 1 octave in 4 semitones, and it just created like that, you know, just a different overtone. And then as far as post-processing goes, the only thing I really did here, if you're using Ableton, these are both stock plugins. This first one is called Comer. I actually just discovered this recently, and it's part of the Max for Live in Ableton 10. It's part of the effects here, and I believe what it is, it's probably very similar to like a Combs filter in Serum, but it's got its own unique characteristics, I guess you want to call it. And I just used 28% of this, like very just slight, you know, this is what it sounds like basically, if I can get there. So that's obviously 100% wet, but yeah, it kind of, you know, creates almost like a comb, you know, filter type effect. And there's a bunch of different settings you can play with. And then obviously we just got some OTT, which really makes the sound come to life. Well, you can add distortion, saturation. You could probably even add, like, get some cool effects if you added like maybe like a phaser or like a chorus. I mean, you could be creative. You could take this, you know, you could probably take this patch and do 1,000 different things with it, use it in 100 different tracks, you know, in different genres, whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I got for you. So man, I'm all fucked up. I gotta get some medicine or something. I feel like shit. tis the season. But regardless, so I will still be putting out some tutorials very frequently. I'm working on a whole new series, so make sure you do give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you didn't like it, be honest, give me a thumbs down, and you know, tell me, you know, how I can improve. If you did like it and you do have any requests, like I said in the comments, you know, leave them down below. And then, like I said, make sure you please subscribe to my channel, because I will be posting free. I will be posting. I can't speak anymore. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, that's nasty. I'm working on it.
Anyways, Elmo here, and I will be posting very frequent tutorials on them. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh boy! All right, I need to find the fucking. I need to do something. But yeah. So, anyways, yeah. I'll see you guys. Peace.